What if I told you that the timeline you've been chasing never actually existed? That your entire idea of being behind in life is an illusion, one designed to keep you feeling trapped? And what if I told you that your chronic illness, this thing that feels like it stole your future, might actually be the key to unlocking an entirely different reality? Today, we will be dismantling one of the biggest sources of suffering: timelines. By the end of this episode, I promise you'll walk away with a whole new perspective on your past, your present, and your future. And I'll give you a practical way to take back control. So stick with me till the end. Oh, and before we dive in, if you find value in this podcast, hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who needs it, and drop a comment if this resonates with you. Now, let's get into it. What are timelines and why are we chained to them? Have you ever felt like life is slipping away while you watch others move forward? Maybe your friends are getting married, advancing in their careers, having kids, traveling the world, and you're just stuck. Managing your health, trying to get through the day, feeling like you're falling behind. That pressure, that aching feeling that you're missing out. That's because we as humans created timelines. The psychology behind timelines. So timelines exist because humans are obsessed with predictability. Our brains crave order, progress, and achievement because they give us a sense of security, right? Society tells us that you need to graduate by 22, have a stable career by 25, get married by 30, have kids by 35, and retire at 65. If you fall outside of this timeline, you feel like a failure. But here's the truth. Timelines are just a construct. They are man-made illusions. Who decided that success had to be linear? Who said that illness makes you fall behind? It's a lie we've all bought into. And when you have a chronic illness, this lie hurts even more because you feel like your body is working against you. But what if I told you that illness isn't stopping you? Not in the way that you may think. What if it's just redirecting you to a different timeline? One that was always meant for you. How chronic illness shuts down society's timeline. When you get diagnosed with a chronic illness, the first thing that shatters is your timeline. Trust me, I know this perfectly. It is painful. Your energy isn't the same, your plans get delayed or completely erased. Your body forces you to slow down while the world speeds up. At first, it feels like a curse. But what if it's an invitation? The multiverse concept: you are not stuck. Let's talk about quantum physics for a second. Scientists believe in the concept of the multiverse, the idea that there are infinite versions of reality, all existing at once. And I'm sure if you're a Marvel fan, you've heard about the multiverse, right? Biblically speaking, this isn't far off from what God tells us. He has infinite plans, infinite paths, infinite possibilities. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And this does not change if you have chronic illness or if you're ill. There isn't just one way your life can go. If illness takes you off the path you expected, that doesn't mean your story is over. It just means you're stepping into a different timeline, one that God already saw coming. You can't be behind when God's plan for you is infinite. Oh, that's so good. Let me say it again. You can't be behind when God's plan for you is infinite. Biblical proof that your illness is not a detour. Chronic illness feels like a wilderness season, a time of loss, waiting, and uncertainty. But in the Bible, every great leader went through the wilderness before their breakthrough. No, I'm not preaching to you, but I believe the Bible has some very good examples of this. Moses spent 40 years in the desert before leading a nation. Joseph was thrown into prison before becoming second in command of Egypt. Even Jesus spent 40 days in isolation before stepping into his purpose. Why? Because the wilderness isn't punishment, it's transformation. If you feel stuck right now, you are not being forgotten, you are being refined. How to break free from timelines. Now, let's get practical. How do you shift your mindset and break free from the feeling of being behind? Stay with me. Step 1. If you are going with a spiritual concept, then surrender your timeline to God. Write down all the expectations you've placed on yourself, pray over them, and release them instead of asking, why am I behind? Ask God, where are you leading me? Step 2, let's look into the psychological aspect of this. Rewire your brain with cognitive reframing. Your brain is wired to look for evidence of whatever belief you hold. If you believe I'm behind in life, your brain will filter reality to confirm that belief. Instead, let's reframe it. So here, maybe this is an old thought. I know this has been thoughts. Okay, so old thought. I should be further ahead. New thought. I am exactly where I need to be to learn what I need to learn. Old thought. Everyone else is progressing except me. New thought. Everyone is on a unique path. My journey is no less meaningful. Old thought. Time is running out. New thought. God's timing is perfect and I can trust it. So, how do we apply this? Well, we all know about journaling, and that's why we're going to start with journaling exercises. So every morning, write down one timeline-based belief that makes you feel behind. Then rewrite it using a healthier perspective. Mindfulness practice. Catch negative thoughts and consciously choose a new narrative. Use the psychological power of non-linear thinking. In Western culture, we think linearly. Birth, education, career, marriage, retirement, death. But many cultures and spiritual traditions see time as cyclical or even multi-dimensional. What if progress isn't forward, but it's inward? Instead of measuring success by external milestones, measure it by inner peace. Are you at peace with where you are? Self-awareness. Are you learning and growing? Spiritual depth. Are you more connected to God and yourself? How to apply this? Instead of setting rigid goals, set intentions. Example, instead of I must accomplish X by this age, shift to I want to experience more joy and fulfillment daily. Practice presence. Chronic illness forces you to slow down. Instead of resisting it, embrace the now. Slow down and be okay with slowing down and resting. This is also a concept that I struggle with a lot, but I'm telling you, it is necessary. Stop measuring your life by productivity. One of the biggest psychological traps is the belief that worth equals productivity. And I'm a productivity girly, and so this has been a big game changer for me when I realized this. When you're chronically ill, your capacity changes. If you judge yourself by what you can achieve, you'll always feel like you're failing. But you are not your productivity. Once again, I'm going to use an example from the Bible. Think about Jesus. Did he rush? No. Did he stress about getting things done fast? No. Yet he changed the world. Your value isn't in what you do, it's in who you are. How to apply this type of thinking? So instead of asking, what did I accomplish today? Ask, did I experience love today? Did I take care of myself today? Did I bring light into someone's life today? Those are the real markers of a meaningful life. So now I want to talk about something that gets attacked but doesn't get talked about a lot when it comes to chronic illness, or identity. Expand your identity beyond illness. If you've been struggling with chronic illness for a long time, you may have unconsciously started to identify with your condition. I mean, it's hard not to. We have to deal with it every day, right? You are not just your illness. You are a creator, a thinker, a spiritual being, a friend, a sibling, a dreamer. Now, once again, how do we apply this? Challenge yourself to do things outside of your comfort zone, even in small ways. Try something new, a hobby, a creative outlet, a passion project. Reclaim parts of yourself that illness made you forget. Your illness may be part of your story, but it is not your identity. Final thoughts here. You are right on time. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Chronic illness didn't take away your future. It simply rerouted you to a different one. And this version of you, the one who has slowed down, rethought life, and trusted deeper, might just be the most powerful version of you. If this message spoke to you, let me know in the comments. And if you want to hear more about breaking free from the old way of thinking, hit subscribe. Your life didn't stop. It just shifted into a new reality. And God is already there, waiting for you to step into it.